Underneath the quiet town of Derry, Maine, lies a massive network of ancient saws. For decades, children have vanished without a trace, leaving behind a trail of quiet horror that the adults simply ignore. This is not just a story about a scary clown hiding in the dark. It is about an ancient force that feeds on fear itself. What if the real monster is not what lives below, but the silence above? When you first watch the 2017 film it looks like a classic horror movie. A terrifying creature named Pennywise scares kids and drags them into the dark. But if you look closer, the story is doing something much deeper. Derry looks normal on the surface. It has green trees, quiet streets, and sunny parks. Yet beneath this peaceful town sits a dark system of old pipes. The saws represent the dirty secrets that the town refuses to clean up. Every few decades, tragedy strikes. Children go missing. But somehow, the adult population acts as if nothing happened. They look away when bullies attack. They ignore missing person posters hanging on public walls. The entity living below Derry does not just hunt children with sharp teeth. It infects the minds of the adults. It creates a fog of indifference across the entire community, turning the whole town into an accomplice to its crimes. To understand the entity haunting Derry, we have to look past the clown makeup and the bright red balloon. Pennywise is not a man in a costume. It is an ancient, shape-shifting organism that came to Earth millions of years ago. It takes the form of a clown because clowns easily attract children, but its real physical form is far beyond human comprehension. When Pennywise opens its mouth wide, we see blinding, swirling lights known as the deadlights. Anyone who looks directly into these lights loses their mind or falls into a catatonic trance, just like Beverly does in the film's climax. The creature feeds on fear because fear seasons the meat, making its victims easier to consume. But fear is also its greatest weakness. The Losers Club discovers that when they stop believing in the creature's power, it loses its hold over them. When they stand together and refuse to be afraid, the terrifying clown shrinks, cracks, and becomes weak. But while the physical body of the clown falls down a deep well at the end of the film, the danger is far from over. If this deep dive is opening your eyes to the hidden layers of cinematic mysteries, make sure to subscribe. Because what comes next changes everything. After confronting Pennywise in the saws, the Losers Club gathers in a sunlit field. They stand in a circle, cut their hands with a piece of broken glass, and join hands in a blood oath. They promise that if IT ever comes back, they will return to Derry to finish the job. This scene seems simple, but it carries a powerful symbolic meaning. The blood oath is the ultimate symbol of unity overcoming trauma. Throughout the movie, each child suffered in isolation. Bill was tormented by the loss of his brother Georgie. Beverly was abused by her father. Eddie was controlled by his mother. Stanley was crushed by pressure. As long as they remained isolated, Pennywise could easily target them. The blood oath seals their destiny together. By shedding their blood together, they create a bond stronger than the evil beneath their town. It transitions them from vulnerable victims into a united force. However, this oath also seals their fate. It ensures that their childhood nightmare will force them to return decades later as adults, even if their memories begin to fade the moment they leave. Director Andy Muschietti hid subtle details throughout the entire film that hint at Pennywise's total control over Derry. If you pause the movie at key moments, you will see the entity watching from the background long before it attacks. For instance, when Ben is reading in the library, the librarian in the background turns her head and stares directly at him with a cold, unnatural smile while a red balloon drifts past. In another scene, when Stanley is looking at a painting of a distorted woman, the painting foreshadows the exact monster that will later hunt him. Even the town's murals feature hidden images of Pennywise blending into historic crowds, showing that the creature has been present at every major tragedy in Derry's past. These visual clues are not just Easter eggs. They tell us that Derry is not a normal town with a monster in it. Derry is the monster. Every corner, every painting, and every adult is part of the creature's web. If you enjoy uncovering hidden details and secret messages in cinema, consider subscribing to join our ongoing investigations. One of the most important facts revealed in the film is the 27-year cycle. Every 27 years, the creature wakes up from its deep hibernation, feeds on the children of Derry for roughly a year, and then goes back to sleep. This pattern has repeated for centuries. Historical records in the Derry Library show that major disasters always mark the start and end of this cycle. The explosion of the Ironworks plant, the shootout of the Bradley gang, and the tragic fire at the Black Spot nightclub all happened exactly 27 years apart. This cycle connects the creature directly to human violence. The entity does not just cause death, it feeds on the hatred and panic created during these tragic events. By establishing this strict time pattern, the story shifts from a simple ghost tale into a massive cosmic timeline. The Losers Club did not destroy the creature permanently in 1989, they merely forced it into early hibernation before its feeding cycle was complete. The final moment of IT, 2017, feels like a victory, but it is actually a ticking clock. As the children walk away from each other in the final scene, they begin to forget. One by one, their memories of the saws, the clown, and even each other start to fade away. This memory loss is a defensive mechanism created by the town itself. By the time they grow up, none of them will remember what happened in the summer of 1989, except Mike Hanlon, who chooses to stay behind in Derry to watch for the signs. The ending sets up an even bigger nightmare for the future. When the creature wakes up 27 years later, the Losers Club will be adults. They will have forgotten their childhood bond, their trauma, and the promise they made in that field. They will have to face their worst nightmare again, but this time as adults who have lost the imagination and belief that allowed them to win the first time. When you look at the entire story, you realize that defeating the monster was only half the battle. The true test is whether human connection can survive the erosion of time and forgotten promises. Will you remember the promises you made in your past when your darkest fears return? If you found this investigation insightful, hit the subscribe button and share your thoughts in the comments below.